Please subscribe to Bear Nerd Fun. Smash the like button. Goodbye.
Hail to all.
Hail to all. This is Bear at Bear Nerd Fun. How's everyone doing today? Well, I watched episode 5 of Star Trek Picard. I connected my Prime with the actual Access website because I have CBS All Access through Prime, but I connected to CBS All Access because it doesn't show up on Prime until like 4 minutes after midnight. But it shows up on CBS All Access about 15 minutes after 11. And I was 15 minutes after 11 when I checked, and I thought I heard Gary mention that it starts 15 minutes after 11 as well. So, the La Serena, aka Copycat. Yeah, Copycat. The inside of that starship looks like the ship from The Expanse. The Rocinante. That's what it looks like to me on the inside. Also, that weird transporter dish, I could swear that's for repurposed transporter backdrop they used from the first 2 episodes of Star Trek Discovery. I'm going to have to punish myself a little, rewatch, and see where that backdrop is at. It's the scene where Michael Burnham's character and Sarek character beam into the starship that she was first on when she was second in command, that she mutinied on. Well, you know how that turned out. Started a war. Anyway. Well, Episode 5, Star Trek Picard. So, basically, it starts off at the 7 Domes. There's an alien that looks a lot like Icheb being tortured. A prosthetic eye was pulled out with wires coming from the back of that eye, you know. Looking for other parts from him. Man, it's just horrible. You know, it's a good thing that when I watch these things, my kids are asleep, because, you know, why would I want my kids to see something like that? Why would I want my kids to see F-bombs, the F word being dropped? Well, 7 of 9 comes in, shooting people and all that, and finds, yes, you guessed it, Icheb. Imanu was not playing this role. I'm sorry, but he's the only Icheb as far as I'm concerned. They did a huge disservice, disrespectful. And basically, at the 7 Domes, they are harvesting Borg tech from recovered Borg that are living basically humanoid lives now. And basically they are killing them and harvesting all their tech that they have. So that must be like this thing they do now, you know. I don't know what its equivalent of in modern society. They're signifying about something. I just will figure it out here eventually. So, 7 of 9 walks in there, shoots everybody, and sees Icheb with all his Borg implants pretty much removed. No anesthesia used. Just complete, ultimate torture. The woman that was ripped his eyeball out and drilled into his eye cranial and pulled that eye out with that ugly looking little apparatus that pulled the eyeball out. You know. Horrid. She comes in there, and in so much pain, he asks 7 of 9 to, spoilers by the way, spoiler warning, asks her to phaser him, kill him. He's in so much pain, he's so miserable, and they paint the picture like he can't be saved. With all the modern medicine they got these days, all the scrapes in Star Trek The Next Generation and Voyager and all these shows, all these scrapes that they've managed to get out of, you know, miraculously, all of a sudden now there's no hope. So after The Next Generation, there's no hope in this universe. So we've also learned that there's positronic neurons that were used to clone Data. So essentially, Soji and Daj are clones. They're Data, basically, in female form. And on top of that, this section, this area of space that was basically where the Romulans were brought to as the supernova, right before it happened and after it happened, saving all these people. The Federation pulls out and stops helping these people. So un-Starfleet-like and so un-Federation-like, you know. So, you have that. So, we see Bruce Maddox. He thinks the Tal Shiar destroyed his lab and his facility. And so he goes to Stardust City Free Cloud in the Alpha Boretus system. Bruce Maddox took a loan from this woman in this basically bodysuit. Well, it doesn't really leave anything to the imagination. Looks like a stripper or something like that. And her name is Fajazel. I guess she's like a crime lord or something of this casino she owns. And apparently this woman has made deals with the Tal Shiar. And one of her sentiments was that it's a pain in the ass making a deal with the Tal Shiar. Since when has anyone used the term "it's a pain in the ass"? That's not very Star Trek-y saying. Maybe I'm missing something here. So you got this woman saying it's a pain in the ass. It's something that we would say nowadays. What happened to Utopia? This is anti-Utopia, I would say. This is not the world that we were fans of. This is not the show that we wanted. And honestly, I don't think we really asked for Star Trek Picard. I don't think it's something that we really wanted. And if they were to do it, where's Geordi? Where's Riker? Where's the crew? You know? The real Picard, established character before all this crap was done, basically he would have sought out help from his friends. You know? Yep. A little bit of humility and all that. He would have sought out his friends for help. So, why didn't he? Why didn't he help his friends? So yeah, why did he not ask his friends for help to get some help? So he's relying on this whole new crew, this Las Vegas meets Scorpion meets NCIS meets crime scene investigation, you know, / adventure story in the form of a Star Trek, and even the whole Ocean's 11 motif going on all over the place. Yes, I'm ghost bearing out. So, hail Tyler Mongo. Calls me Ghost Bear when I'm pattering in. I'm beaming in, Scotty. So, man. Yeah, Gary was right about the cringe muscle. Mine's right here. Well, it wasn't as bad as the first episode of this show when I first watched it. That was worse. But man, I'm telling you. And this episode was directed by Jonathan Frakes. I guess basically this would have been a mitigated disaster had it not been real Jonathan Frakes directing. He didn't write it. I wish he would have wrote it. And, you know, after 7 of 9 is basically saved when this group tries to fool and trick Fajazel. Instead, they end up doing a life-for-life trade, and they all leave this casino. A lizard that can smell lies. You know, I thought I heard someone mention someone's name that was Mr. Cole from Anganar. I think they meant Quark. I'll have to do some rewatches if I can handle that. And so it appears that Agnes, the scientist that knows about positron brain matrices and stuff like that, and artificial life, an expert on it. So she's the big bad, or one of the big bads, and maybe she could be a Tal Shiar agent, because she straight up kills after they recover Maddox. John Luke talks to Maddox, gets some information from him. He says that he sent Dash to Earth, and he sent Soji to the artifact, the Borg cube they talk about. And the whole time, she's just there in the background, kind of like they're showing her, like, listening in. They make it obvious she's listening in. And, you know, what happened to Picard asking people to leave somewhere when he wanted to talk to people in private? The original Picard we knew would have asked her to leave the room so he could have a private conversation with Maddox. What happened to that? What happened to the character that we knew? Yeah, this is unlike Jean-Luc Picard. This is Mr. Picard, and yeah, and being the bad Frenchman. Yeah, I don't, man. I wasn't crazy about it. It was like one of the scenes from the holodeck they used to do. I keep waiting for Q to pop up here and there or somewhere, you know. Who knows what they're going to do with this stuff. So yeah, and Agnes, she totally kills Bruce Maddox after Jean-Luc talks with him. Apparently, Fajazel in 7 of 9, the reason why that Fajazel knew about Egypt is because apparently 7 and Fajazel have a past. They were lovers. Apparently 7 of 9 became a lesbian. So her undying love for Chakotay apparently disappeared. The established storyline where they had a love interest and they were involved, and all of a sudden, let's throw that story in the garbage. The stuff that was already established. You can tell I'm getting a little irritated. I'm starting to trying to transport out of this hellhole. You know, this hellhole that we're watching called Star Trek Picard. You know. So yeah, no. So apparently Chakotay and 7 gone. Nothing. Basically the Star Trek universe, basically the next generation universe that we know, it's dead. It's gone. So basically, we got old dudes being talked down to by other women. No joy. More man bad dialogue, you know. Just telling you, you know, unforgettable. So, and also, what I've noticed is an uncomfortable closeness between Seven and Picard, and misguided man Picard. Basically, how Seven treats Picard like he's misguided, and like, what's he doing out here, causing trouble? And he got oh boy, and too much privilege of the part in the Federation. Yeah, too much privilege. Talking about privilege. And I was in Gary's chat, and I seen Chris Persia add a chat, and so I'm gonna quote Chris Persia on this. He says that CBS is trying to tie in Andromeda into Star Trek Discovery. Will be the crew of Discovery trying to rewrite Starfleet. Chris Persia, I'm quoting Chris Persia on that one. Chris, I agree. This very well could be what they're trying to do. Yeah. They're painting everything so bad, everything so bleak, anti-utopia. The milk and honey and all the plenty, it's all gone, man. There's more monetary systems going on when there wasn't before. There was money, but, you know, the Federation, replicators, replicated everything. There was no need or want. And antimatter, starships, produced all the energy they needed. So what happened to this land and space and the galaxy aplenty? So, no more. The Star Trek that we used to watch and what we were used to and the canon that was established. A big shat sandwich that got shit on. Yeah. I like Jerry Ryan's performance. It wasn't completely Seven, but it was okay. I liked it. I didn't really care for the two characters that never really talked or coexisted together that I know of. Have this familiarity, and it didn't feel natural. It felt uncomfortable to me. And so, so pretty much, it just seems like this timeline, it's messed up. It's fucked. Yeah, that's what it is. It's fucked. So yeah. So yeah, there you go. So, hail to all. This is Bear Nerd Fun. Remember, when you go woke, you go broke.
Please subscribe. Bear, Nerd Fun. Smash the like button. Goodbye.
Say hello. Hello. Say hello. Say nerd fun. Nerd fun. Nerd fun. Say goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hail